Springer. Damn it, Steve! Give us something, man. Give us something.
I'm concentrated.
The hell with your concentration. You're blowing the mood. Look at him.
I have to concentrate to make sure the show's.
Concentrate. Dude. You can do some flair. You can give us a little something. Just a little Night of the Roxbury or something.
That's usually what I do. I'm usually just like.
Good Lord, man. We out here vibing. It's a big night. Like and subscribe. Foolish Club Media. The Nightly Fix every night, Sunday through Thursday. So it's not every night, so it's a lie right off the top. But like and subscribe. Please go to our YouTube channel. If you don't, fuck you.
Oh, yo, you've gone from insulting to threatening back to insulting and now back to threatening. That's crazy.
I did not.
That's wild, bro.
I'm sorry, my son.
If you don't do it, fuck you.
I'm sorry,
All right, y'all heard Ron.
My son's his baseball game tonight, 6U baseball, just they screwed him over. And they it's a good reason that I wasn't a coach tonight. It's because had I been the coach, it would have gone something like I would have grabbed all of the balls and I would have sat down at home plate until we got this rectified. They screwed our kids. The game ended in a tie, and I know they're 5 and 6 year olds, and they were able to move on past it. But I'm just saying, they put these young kids out there as umpires, and these coaches take advantage of them to just walk all over them. All right, and they screwed our kids, so I'm a little fired up, and I do apologize.
You didn't want somebody?
No, I didn't. I did yell from behind. From behind the dugout, behind the plate.
At a child or at the umpire?
No, I didn't yell at the kids. I didn't yell at the damn kids.
You yelled at the child umpire?
I didn't yell at the kids. I yelled at the umpire. He was probably 16 or 17. But I did yell.
That's a grown ass man. He deserves to get yelled.
But
at.
I just yelled. It's really the coaches. It was just something that didn't make sense. Like whatever the call was, how bad it was, however it was, just make sure it's right. In this case, there was no possible way the outcome could be what it was. I'm not going to go into long depths explaining it, but it just wasn't no way. I'll just say somebody had to be at second base. Couldn't have been just somebody at first and third. Somebody had to be at second base. I'll just leave it at that. That young man he got nervous. Those coaches took advantage of his youth, and he just went along with it. And the game ended in a tie. And it was bullshit.
I was so I used to work for the YMCA back in the day, back when I was in high school. That was like my
I did too.
job.
That was my I worked at
You-
the YMCA from my junior year of high school. I worked in the workout department, but then I refereed games and I worked at the YMCA through college. I
Oh my
ran.
God, we have so much in common. Let me tell my story.
All right, you're right. But real quick, before and after school care, I was a site director at Stewartsboro Elementary in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
He can't be stopped, y'all. He cannot be stopped.
Hey, look me up. Saved a kid's life who was drowning at a pool saved her life. Her mother was very, very happy, obviously. But no, yes, we do have something in common. All right, I'm sorry. That's it. I'm done.
Are you? Okay. So motherfucker Ron, dude. Ron, bro. I'm on too much caffeine for this, baby. We gotta talk about something. Anyway.
Tell your story.
I was in high school working at the YMCA. And I was originally I was supposed to be like a sports coach. I was supposed to be a coach for basketball, for kids basketball or whatever. And then
weren't.
Yes, I was. For like little 5-year-olds or whatever. It was like no big shit. I was hooping a lot at that time too. So like I did know the rules, and like there was a dude named Coach Ken who was my mentor, and he was super cool. Then there was this other guy who was from Florida, and he had dreads, and he was like in his 30s, but he was like real weird, like real crazy. Anyway, so we had this new sports director come in, and she was just like, hey, if you're going to be a coach, like a part of this sports, or just in the sports area in general, I need you to like be a referee. And I was like, yeah, I can referee basketball. She was like, no, I need you to referee soccer. I'm like, need me to referee what? She was like, soccer. And so the first time I did it, there was 2 of us reffing. It was me and this dude named Tunde. And like, he was like all in shape, running up and down the field. So I just kind of let him do the thing. And then she was like, hey, I need you to referee soccer. So the first game I ref by myself was like a kid's soccer game. Like they were like 5 or 6 years old. No big deal. These kids were getting lost looking at butterflies. It was cute. You know what I mean? Then she was like, hey, I need you to ref this game for the 16-year-olds. And mind you, I'm 17 at the time, right? Bro, when I'm telling you, I was up and down that field looking like a crazy person trying to chase after these kids. Just running, blowing the whistle, running, blowing the whistle. At one point in time, I slipped and fell and hit my face into like a patch of mud, and just everyone, kids, coaches, parents, all started laughing at me. Just being like, ha, 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 is he okay? Ha, 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 ha. I was like, damn it. And that was it, dude. I mean, I did that for up until I graduated high school and then moved to San Antonio. And I wanted to get another job at the YMCA, but I was just like, if this is what we're going to have me doing, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it.
No, we do have similar stories. Except I was a successful referee. And
you were good at your job.
Just successful. I didn't take in soccer because I didn't know it well enough. I
told them I didn't know that shit, but they
didn't come my way. No, man, we do. That's cute, man. YMCA, baby. I did about 7 years at the Y.
Let's get a matching tattoo, dude. Let's do this.
I'm telling you, man, I'm down, man.
I know someone who referees professionally. It's a pretty good living.
Shit. Is it really?
Yeah.
Is that it? That's all you got? You're not going to go any further?
I've never done it. Hey,
who is this person?
I had to go to my girlfriend's son's basketball game last night, and they asked somebody to like keep score, and I was just like,
hey, that's probably a smart move because these people get so aggressive. I promise, at my son's 6U kids pitch, coaches pitch, there is always a discrepancy with the score. Just like today. It's 13-13. No, it's 13-12. There was only one run that came across. The run doesn't count if you got the third out. It was so you probably made the right decision, ducking the hell out of that. No, I get serious out here. It's serious out here.
Sir, I have a question. Are you wearing a dead shirt?
I'm telling you, man. That's
this is actually a fish shirt.
It's a fish shirt. Oh, sick. Oh, that's super sick. I like that.
It's not sick, but it's
in
my opinion.
Yeah. And the song called Ghost. That's the fish pattern.
Yeah, I like it.
Steve used to really rock a lot of tie dye. It used to be.
I still have a lot of them.
Still got a little bit of it. All right. Well, a lot to get to tonight. Steve's big night. The first one, the first ever black movie review from Steve Serda. He's going to give us Belly a little bit later on. Brian be shining. If you listen to Foolish Club Media, you know every Wednesday you see Brian's World drops. He's going to stop by. And if you don't know him, stay tuned. Listen to your boy Brian be shining, tell you a little bit about it, and make you want to go jump on his show every single Wednesday that comes out. So that's coming up a little bit later on. Before we get to a heat check, which I'm certain is going to be spectacular. Got the play-in finally coming to an end. Well, at least part of it. The Miami Heat beat the brakes off the Bulls. Bit surprising. Tyler Hero went off, but right now, Nico Harrison is having some good luck. This is the first good night, and I'm sure it probably will end poorly, but this is the first good night that Nico has had. All right, Nico Harrison. His Mavericks are up 20 right now. They're up 20 in the second quarter for a chance to, if they can beat the Kings, if they can hold on, they got a chance to travel to Memphis and play Ja Morant and company. But right now, Nico Harrison, who I think in 2 months, I think has had the worst year anybody has had in sports, and I'd say maybe the last 3 years. Nico Harrison.
Can we just call him No Luck Nico or something?
He's got good luck right now. Seriously,
nah, I don't think that's gonna last, bud.
It is 70. It is 71-48 right now.
Oh,
if they lose this game, and they've shown him multiple times, and that's the thing. I don't know if Nico has a stupid look on his face all the time, but I don't know if I just deem it as a stupid look now because I know of some of the dumb stuff Nico does. But they've shown him multiple times, and he's got that stupid look on his face. And look, I hope it does go well. I mean, he needs some good news. I mean, he needs something good to happen. Now, Anthony Davis is not really a part of this, who he said he made this trade for Luka for because, and I quote, defense wins championships. He's not a big part of it, but he's if this continues, this is a big night going at the half. This continues, this is a big night. But yesterday, I don't know how so many people who are smart individuals all get into a room together and come up with such dumb things to do. So we all know that the trade was stupid. We all know that Nico is being killed and has been getting crushed over this trade, and rightfully so, because it's one of the dumbest decisions in the history of sports that anybody in a front office has ever made. But apparently yesterday, whenever I think this cannot get any worse, it does. Yesterday, Nico decided to call a round table, like a round table with selected Dallas media members. And in this initially, he was not going to allow it to be videotaped or recorded. No one could record anything. You could write stuff down. No one could record anything or video it. It was just going to be a private meeting in which they would discuss the Luka trade. This is so dumb on so many ways. This guy, Rick Welch, who is also dumb, he is another executive. He decided to do all of these things. And they go in here and they discuss this trade. And Nico says this, yeah, there's no regrets of any kind about this trade. Part of my job is to do the best things for the Mavericks, not only today, but also in the future. When you look at this trade, we targeted AD. He scored 13 points and 11 rebounds when Luka came back and scored 45 points. We targeted AD. With our philosophy of defense wins championships, we wanted a two-way player to lead our team, and that was Anthony Davis. Yeah, he said, I have 3 years left on my contract, and I see myself finishing those 3 years out. This is so stupid on so many angles. Why does Nico need to have another press conference about this?
He's a glutton for punishment.
Why? And now we have later found out that some reporters did make a last-second deal for them to be able to record some portions of this interview. And then we found out later that the owner, now we understand why Nico still has a job and he's dumb, that the owner has forced him to conduct this interview. And that is why Nico did this interview, but requested this without. Did anybody, how does that many people sit down and think to themselves, This is a good idea. Why do you find that picture of Nico? Why do so many like how many people sit there and say, "Yeah, let's do this. Let's make ourselves look even dumber by having this thing and not allow anybody to record it or." I just think, listen, the idiotic move has already been done. They held that press conference where he already sounded like a buffoon, and some of the other stuff that's been reported that he said. I mean, listen how dumb this is. He said the 2.5 quarters that we had Kyrie and AD out there, you could see the plan and why we wanted to make the move. 2.5 quarters? Why would you even say that? Why would you even say something so stupid, Nico? It is just ridiculous that they even did this.
So it's not that uncommon in sports media to have like conference calls that you can record, but it's for like transcribing. Like you're not allowed to release the audio of those things. Like I've been on those conference calls before. Like that's not uncommon. It is very uncommon to hold a press conference that no one is allowed to record anything that is not you're not allowing cameras into so they can cut up for the local news or whatever. That is not a common occurrence. And this is clearly because, so general managers, I've never covered an NBA team full time, but in the NFL, general managers don't talk all of the time because they don't have to. You hear from players weekly, you hear from the coaches weekly. Like you do all that during the regular season, but you really only hear from the general manager like a couple times a year. Like, before the regular season, maybe after the regular season, and then like NFL draft. So I'm assuming you probably don't hear from basketball GMs all that much, but to do it and not do it publicly is absolutely insane. And so this, to me, it's like, yes, the owner forced him into this, but was Nico saying like, okay, well, I don't want to do it on TV? Like, because
Nico made that decision.
That's insane. Like, that's a guy that is cowering in a closet because he knows he messed up.
But
he knows it is blowing up in his face before his very eyes. And the only way it could get any worse is if the Lakers just go on an insane run and win the NBA title or something like that. Like, that's the only way it could get worse because there is no plan of action despite everything that he is claiming to say. Because there is no future plan. Luka was the future plan. Luka dragged you to the finals and you traded him for absolutely no reason because apparently you didn't like his attitude or whatever. Like, he's just cowering in a corner waiting to lose his job.
And again, let's hope the Lakers thing that you just came up with does actually happen. But seriously, Osita, what reason do they need to bring it back up? What reason do they need to comment on it? We've lost the ability to control the narrative. It's over. It's over. At this point, Nico and the Mavericks should be the last people bringing up the Luka trade. They should be the last people doing it. Instead, they're inviting it. Even like, I'm with you, Serda. This was a cowardice, weak way to do it, to handpick the media members that you're going to pick and then not allow anybody to be able to record it or have it on tape. But what made them feel like, hey, we got to address this again? They're the last ones that should be doing it.
I mean, I feel like, especially in Nico's position, when the entire world thinks you're a complete dumbass, a screw up, a fuck up, an idiot, you probably want to have some words, like say your side of the story.
You said it though. He said it. They already had a press conference, and he got crushed.
People are still thinking that he's a dummy, an imbecile.
This wasn't ever gonna change
a nitwit. And I mean, obviously, you said it seems like his GM, the owner, or something like that, or not the owner wanted him to actually go.
Oh, the owner? No, it's been reported the owner forced them to do this, and so that means like the owner wanted them to come out. That the owner thought the best move of action was for them to address it with certain media members of Dallas. And I'm like,
he's probably just trying to save face before he fires him, honestly.
this is
You know what I
lay
mean?
low
Like,
territory, man. Just
hey,
let it go.
nah, not lay low, because if he puts him out there and he keeps fucking up and he keeps doing these weird things and keeps saying dumb shit, eventually, like when he gets fired, he'll have all the reasons in the world.
But listen,
This, not just the trade, all the dumb shit he did afterwards.
Serda, I don't think he's getting fired. That guy thought this was not right now. That guy is the one who, first off, Serda and Osita, you know this. For the Luka trade to happen, Nico don't have that kind of power for that to just happen. That clearly had to be signed off by the owner. Like this is a beyond his decision, right? Like Patrick Mahomes' decisions are beyond Brett Veach. Those are Clark Hunt decisions, right? Like CJ Stroud decisions are beyond Nick Caserio. Those are Clark and Hannah McNair decisions, right? Those are those decisions. The owner had to sign off on this. And that buffoon is the one who thought, Nico, after you've already addressed and took the bullets and questions when it already happened and you have nothing different to say now, let's do it again, but it in this fashion.
Yeah.
Like, put the scapegoat out there to take the heat.
Well, and that's what this is. Like,
I don't think that's
okay.
What this
So
is.
Maybe the owner really just despised Luka, and that's ownership, and that's insane because like Mark Cuban, if he was still in charge of the Mavericks, like this would have never happened. Like, just it simply wouldn't have happened. But Mark Cuban sold his majority shares. He's not in control anymore, and now Nico is the scapegoat in all of this, whether he believes anything he's saying or not, or he's just a coward who is desperately trying to keep his job instead of standing up for himself. He went through with it. So that's all anyone in NBA history is going to remember, is that he's the guy that traded a generational player in his prime for pennies on the dollar at midnight on a Saturday, like before the Super Bowl. So it would to try to mitigate the PR that it would get and the backlash that it would get. Like, he is going to be the guy that is infinitely remembered for that. And he's inevitably going to lose his job because this is absolutely going to fail. Like, it's hard to win NBA titles, especially if you don't have a star. I don't care how well you can put together a well-rounded team. If you don't have a superstar in the NBA playoffs, you're not going to win an NBA championship. And they traded away one of the most valuable commodities in the sport because somebody got their feelings hurt or somebody was upset with, with Luka's responses to things or something like that. So Nico's the scapegoat in all of this. But what makes it even worse for him is that even if he is actually a good general manager, when he gets fired, nobody else is ever going to hire him to run their team again.
Hold on. Just tell me this, because you guys think I think we're on different pages on this. What do you think is going to be the scenario? Like, where does Nico get fired? Where do you think and how quickly
this season he's getting fired? If they don't, I think he will get some time to try to prove that he can rebuild things and at least get them to like contending. But even contending in the NBA, like everybody knows, like contending is not the same thing as actually being a team that can actually win it all.
I just completely disagree with that. I think logically he should have gotten fired for even bringing this up if this was his idea. But the owner clearly, like, this is Luka is as you said, generational athlete. This is Brady and Mahomes and anybody in their prime, Shohei Ohtani, anybody in their prime. If those guys get moved, the owner is behind it. And I don't think in 4 months, the owner who signed off on this and sat up there at that stupid ass press conference, sitting there right there with him, I don't think the owner's going to fire him if the Lakers won the championship. He's going along with it. I think Nico has much, much better job security than you think. Yes, he is a part of an idiotic move. But it doesn't matter if the person who signs the checks and makes all the decisions and has all the power is behind it.
Question. All right. So is the general manager, this might be a dumb question, are they responsible for like ticket sales as well for like the home games and stuff like that? Is that like a thing?
No,
they just like
they're just basically player personnel, player coaches, like stuff with on the floor. Generally, you have presidents that are in charge of like money, tickets, all of the business side.
I could see if like the business side does so bad, like where people stop supporting the Mavericks and stop showing up to games and stop buying their jerseys and stuff like that, where maybe not in the next 4 months, but like within like the next year or something like that, he ends up getting fired because he's led this team to such a point where the people of Dallas don't even want to fuck with it.
But they did increase season ticket prices.
Yes, that's signed off. But as soon as he got traded, they increased season tickets. Who is that? Who makes that call? Like that's not a Nico call. That's the I hear what you guys are thinking too logically about this and thinking that these two guys, this can't. If it were Klay Thompson, that's a different thing. Hell, if it were Kyrie, that's a different thing. This is not a situation where the owner and the GM are out on the same page. This did not go Osita like, hey, man, all right, man, if you want to make this move and trade for Luka, that's fine, but it better work. I'll let you make the move, but it better work. And if it doesn't, no, you don't make – he's behind it. Right?
Do you remember like when we were doing some taping for this or whatever, and the trade first happened, and I told you I watched some weird ass conspiracy video about like the conspiracy theory about why they traded the game or why they traded Luka.
Yeah.
And I told you, does it not seem like something like where the business it's almost like they're trying to like raising season ticket prices, trading your star player, putting this imbecile in charge of everything? Like it seems like a company that's trying to go for broke.
Well, parts of it was some people were concerned that they want to pay him the 370 whatever million he was going to get paid, right? For whatever reason, like this decision and move is not something that Nico just gets to make by himself. And then, all right, man, hey man, yeah, I'll let you trade the biggest thing that we have had since Dirk Nowitzki and the guy that is the future of this thing that just led us to the NBA Finals last year. I'll let you trade it, but if it doesn't work, that's your ass. No. Like right now, if Brett Veach, the GM of the Chiefs, even came to Clark Hunt about, hey man, I think I got a trade idea. I think we can make a move. Let's move Patrick Mahomes and let's trade him. And I think we can go get any other quarterback. I think that Clark Hunt would fire him for even coming to him about the idea in a serious nature. Because I think he would fire him.
You don't let players like that go until they're 40 years old. Like you keep them forever.
And the only way that person would keep his job is if you were with it. If you were behind it.
And as Dennis is saying in the chat, like, you know, supposedly the Mavericks or maybe want to get out of Dallas. Like, that wouldn't shock me either.
That's what I said.
Why'd Mark Cuban sell a majority of his stake in the team that he loves so much? That's
exactly what I said. I said they might move to. They were thinking about. People were talking about them moving to Austin, and since like they were thinking about making gambling legal or something like that in Texas or at least in Dallas, and they were going to use their stadium for this huge like fucking casino or something like that. And Ron was just like, "There's no fucking way." Oh,
they're not leaving. They're not
leaving Dallas.
Well, I didn't tell you don't know sports. You don't, but they're not leaving Dallas. Okay, they're not leaving. They're not leaving Dallas. There's Brian B. Shynin joining us here. We got to get to. We're talking about this idiot Nico Harrison.
Hey, thank God for Nico. Speaking from a Laker fan here, so we love him.
I'm telling you, I want Nico to have a good night. He's having a good night right now. Like I feel like Nico would try to take a victory lap if my man won this thing and then beat Memphis and then slid over to OKC. I think he would try to really take a victory lap. But before we get to my man Brian B. Shynin, we got to do a little thing we do every night. Osita, his heat check, and it's usually got some heat. That silly ass look he has on his face.
Let's go, baby.
Well, the audience, we will get you with Brian, one of our hosts on Foolish Club. But first, let's get a heat check.
All right, guys. So for today's heat check, I'm so glad we got Brian here because I want to play a little game with you guys. We're going to play a game called Athlete's Foot versus Trench Foot, aka the name of the game is Athlete's Foot versus Trench Foot. Is it the foot of an athlete or the foot of someone from the trenches?
Don't piss me off, man.
I got you, baby. Calm down, baby. Don't feed you.
I'm just saying,
you'll be all right.
Like, just in trenches.
Trench foot. You're in the trenches. You're from the bottom. You're in the gutter. It is what it is.
Okay.
All right, let's go, sir. Do you got it?
Oh God, you got production with this.
Of course I do. What do you think this is?
Trench foot.
All right, first one: athlete's foot or trench foot?
Oh,
that's athlete.
Yeah, that's athlete.
That looks like Shaq's feet.
Nah, close. It is the foot of greatness, as Ron always says. He loves greatness. This is LeBron James' foot.
Yeah, you got to work hard for that, baby. Yeah,
you got to work hard for that hammer toe.
Work hard for that, man. I'm gonna try to get my toe like that.
All right. What about the next one? Let's go for the next one.
Yeah, give me a second here. I have to do these individually.
No worries.
Damn, LeBron. Oh, man, that's athletes right there, man.
That's athlete.
Whoever that is cutting them toenails tight, boy.
That is Reggie Jackson.
Baseball player.
No, football or basketball player.
The guard.
Oh yeah, Reggie. Yeah, Reggie with the shades.
All right, next one. You guys are 2 for 2. Not bad.
Well, this feet is too clean. Yeah, that's from the gutter, man. That's what Ashley Larry's feet look like.
That's Ashley Larry's feet.
That got 12th Street written all over it, baby. They've been selling A-balls for 20 years.
All right, my guys. All right. Well, you're actually wrong on that one. That size 22 foot belongs to none other but Shaquille O'Neal. That is his.
Yikes.
Shaq's feet are rough.
He looked like he got gout, but I think that's just his. it's his normal feet.
Oh, well, the Dallas Mavericks logo gives it away right there.
Obviously, still fucked up, but that belongs to Coach Darryl Armstrong of the Dallas Mavericks.
That looked like that damn toe flip, giving people the finger, giving the people that Stone Cold Steve Austin.
It's throwing up gang signs. Yeah,
for real though.
That's tough.
Next one. What about that one, y'all?
That look like they're in a barbershop. But them athletes, man. Them athletes. Look at the toenails. They look like they've been painted.
Yeah.
It's when the first two toes.
It's too shiny.
It's when the first two toes cross together that gives athlete to me. Twinkle toes.
Yes. Twinkle toes for real. Okay, so that is actually Coach Prime, none other than Deion Sanders.
Oh, that must be his good foot then, because Deion got his
other one. The other one got this one. He still got a strong hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That other one, he got 3 missing.
All right, last one.
Oh, trenches. That's your feet.
Yo, Brian's right. I don't know how you know what my feet look like, but
I knew it.
I just got that right, man. You got that right. All right.
It's too clean of a picture, man. We got too many pixels in there.
All right, let's get my foot off the screen. I don't want to see that no
your
more.
foot's so much bigger than all of the other ones.
Yeah, because I had to cut out the rest of the background and everything like that because I wanted y'all to be able to guess.
So did you just want us to guess athlete's feet
versus trench foot? And y'all got one wrong. I'm just saying, okay, if they have all this money, all the money in the world, variably, how are they not taking care of their feet? How has self-care gone so wrong in the life of an athlete where they can't take care of their feet? Also, what is up with basketball shoes and sports shoes in general? Are they not supposed to keep you from having feet like that? Like,
nah,
what
man, you
is
can't,
going
you
on?
can't,
They are
like,
gargoyle.
they can't control that. They can't control
These
that.
Hammer toe having bunion boys are out there making millions and they can't afford to get a fucking pedicure. Are you kidding me?
I just don't think they be thinking about it. I know
Bro,
I take care of my own feet.
I take care of my feet like motherfucker. I have friends that work in construction, that work in oil and gas. They go get mani-pedis every 2 weeks. They got their 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. They come back and they get their shit. They get their shit cleaned up. You know,
See, I ain't doing all that.
But I'm saying LeBron.
I moisturize my feet, so I don't have to like scrape them and stuff. My feet are just soft.
You look like the kind of cat that
What's wrong with you, Steve, man?
You get all the calluses off. You put the baby feet on.
I don't have
a sock for like 2 weeks.
I don't have to. I just have soft skin. I moisturize every day.
What's wrong with you, man? Like
every day when I get out of the shower, me and my girlfriend have talked about this.
Listen,
it's called self-care, Ron.
I put lotion on immediately when I get out of the shower every day. I take care of myself.
That's your self-care routine, Serda.
Yeah, my skin is silky smooth, and I don't grow facial hair, so it's as smooth as a baby.
How was that experience? I done had facial hair since I was like 15. How was that?
I mean, I would grow a beard if I could. I just can't. It just doesn't happen. I shave like once a month because I get like rat whiskers.
Between you and Jay-Z, man.
I will comment on the toes one time. You could see a couple of them look like they go and get their toes done. They
Coach
just
Ron
like
definitely gets his toes done.
Like you just can't do nothing. Like especially in basketball players, they're just that. Like their toes are just forming that way. They've been stepped on. They've been doing like that. Ain't like they're not going somewhere to get them bad boys popped back into place every like that look like guys that have been running up and down the court, foot stepped on every day as long as they've been. You can't do that. They might go over to get them painted, make them bad boys clipped up and the nails done. That might like somebody.
If I were them, I'd be at a podiatrist every day.
Would you rather have NBA players' feet or NFL wide receivers' hands? Like Antonio Freeman.
Hands. Yeah. Or not just that, offensive linemen. Like linemen, the linemen say, go look up, Osita, go look up Booger McFarland's hands.
Oh,
him or Anthony Munoz.
Or Torrey Holt.
Torrey Holt's are bad too.
Yeah,
I work with that's just how he lived it. That's how he lived it.
Yeah.
He got a permanent West Side.
For real. Funny shit. There's this piano player. He's a jazz piano player from like New Orleans. His name's Dr. John. And when he was a kid, he was actually a guitar player, right? He was playing like a little show or something like that. Some shit popped off. He got shot in the hands and they sewed on his fingers backwards. Like, so they switched the fingers. So his middle finger is now his ring finger now his middle finger. He couldn't play guitar anymore with his guitar in his picking hand. So he started playing piano and then he became like a famous pianist. Fun story.
We be having to switch them bitches back. There ain't nowhere I'm rolling with that. All right, Brian B. Shynin in with us. He is a host on Foolish Club Media every single Wednesday. Brian's World. It's been dropping for a year. Great success on it. Let people know. We've got people in here. I know we've got some people in the chat. Let people know about Brian's World, what kind of pod it is, what to expect from it.
Man, first off, thank you for having me on, fellas. Glad to share the platform with you all. But Brian's World, mainly, exploring things Kansas City, mainly, Chiefs centered, but I explore other things like, for instance, the KC Superman story that's been floating around here about how he was banned from a district in Kansas City. I tackle that story. I also tackle stories about real life. Like there was a young lady, a country singer, and I can't remember her name because I'm not a country music fan. I'm sorry. But she was a biracial young lady who was adopted. And that story kind of identified with me and how I grew up in life. Now, I wasn't adopted, but my sister, I didn't meet my sister till I was 19 years old. And we had different mothers and the same father. So it's a long, complicated story with all of that. But, I try to, of course, dive into a little NFL and Chiefs, but also hit you with some real stuff too. Things that are on my mind. That's on in Brian's world.
That's it. That's it. That's been rolling for almost a year now on Foolish Club, but changing it up a little bit. And check it out. We said every single Wednesday. He also, man, he always generally will have conversations. Had a pretty cool conversation with the mayor of Kansas City on any kind of leaders, former athletes, in political figures in Kansas City. So it is everything.
I got a great conversation this week coming up, Ron. I'm gonna drop the pod a week from today, next Wednesday. How about those Chiefs? My man Cole, he's been going ham with the Chiefs coverage.
Nice.
His YouTube channel is over $250,000. We had a great conversation about football, family, and faith. Great conversation about faith and how those intertwine with his life and mine as well.
And for all of our Kansas City people or people around the country that are from here originally, still like want to, connect with the city that they're from. Like, I don't think there's a podcast that's more authentically Kansas City than what Brian is doing on Brian's World. So.
Oh, man, Serda, come on, man. I appreciate that, man. Don't make me blush at 10:30, 10:42 at night.
It's a must-listen show, man. I look forward. We're in the off season, so it's not weekly right now. But
right,
we'll get back to weekly when we get close to the season. But Brian's doing amazing work, so I highly encourage everybody to check it out.
Yes. Super fan. Obviously versed in music, just like Osita. Like you two, I feel like you'll come at it in different angles, different. Like it's hard to describe it. Like Osita, I feel like just knows something about everybody. I feel like Osita the whole time was trying to figure out who this country artist is that you.
I Googled it. I had to. I had to.
What was her name? I forgot it.
Her name was Tanner Adele.
Tanner Adele. Yeah, that's her name. Yeah. Great story about her. Because this is where I was going with that story. Because of course, genetically I'm biracial, but I grew up as a black man. Like plain and simple. I went to black churches, grew up around black family, dated black women. It just is what it is, bro. I never met my white family until last year. Seriously, I was 38, turning 39. It was actually on my birthday last year where I actually met my white family. And that all started actually with my wedding, where I had first saw anybody from my mother's family at my wedding. So that's a whole, that could be a whole podcast and movie by itself. So I think I have a unique perspective and experience on, first off, biracial kids, growing up biracial in the time that I did, because I feel like things are starting to move towards, okay, they're not just some singled out, because back in the day in the 90s when you was in school, it might have been 2 biracial kids in the class. That's it. Now, like practically, half the class or half of society is biracial, mixed by some kind. But
and their names is Jalen.
With that too, yes. I've coached a lot of Jalen's or Jalen's, yeah, for sure.
That is a fun name for mixed kids. Jalen.
It is. But the real thing with this is there are some difficulties with being mixed and growing up in certain communities. Me, I grew up in an all black community with all black family, schools, and all that stuff. So I knew who I was for the most part. Some biracial kids struggle with identity a lot. Some of them come from white-centered families and white communities, and they're looked at as black in those communities. But if they go to a black community, they will be looked at as white because of their vernacular, how they talk, how they act. So it's a lot of things that go into this situation. And then I'll tell you one last thing I want to leave you with is that one of the difficult things that's under it's a serious conversation, but it's not. But it's like when your white mother can't cook, and I can say this because my mama cannot cook. She will tell you I cannot cook. But then on the weekends, when your black grandma from Louisiana come pick you up, and you getting all the soul food that you want, the chicken, you getting just a taste of Louisiana. But then during the week, you gotta go back to noodles, or what my mother would call EMFH, every man for himself. So it's a lot of difficult topics to tackle within that hemisphere of by growing up biracial, especially when you adopt it, and then that's a whole other thing that you can get into.
Let me add a couple of things because I know your mom has at least one go-to dish. I know she got to have one.
Looking like that shit?
She got to have one. She got to have one. Like, listen, my mom ain't a great cook. She got this little spaghetti with pepperoni little number there. She did like that one good dish where it's like it's all right. It's all right. I know she got one dish, but I'm intrigued by this conversation.
I'll tell you this. Let me say this, Ron. My mother has no dishes, and I'm gonna tell you why she doesn't. She thinks pepper is too much seasoning. I'll leave it at that. Pepper, regular ass table pepper.
Salt and pepper go in everything.
Steve, we don't
Not
need
to
you,
my
we don't
mother.
need you to come in here and tell us that you to do your Wolfgang Puck thing. We know
like, I'm seasoned.
exceptional
I know how to
cook. By the way, Brian, stay tuned because here in a second, we've started Black Movie Review with Serda.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
Oh, his
Let's
first
go.
movie is Belly, but no, I
Oh, y'all start him off with that.
yeah, that was the first one. Yeah,
That was my idea.
Hey, did
Yeah.
you Serda, are you familiar with Soul to Soul? Back to life, back to reality, baby.
Back to life, back to reality.
I can't wait to hear it because Serda's a movie buff, and I'm sorry, he's such a movie buff. He calls them films, so I cannot wait to hear what he's got to say about Belly. That's coming up. But did you ever run into? Because I'm intrigued as you talked about kind of your story, your history biracial. Did you ever run into the situation of, as you said, growing up as you felt and identified as Black? Did you ever run into situations where you felt not Black enough for Black folks, and then maybe the other with white folks? You always felt like you were in that never came off to you.
Nah, man, I knew I was Black because of the way that I talk, the music I listened to, and what I watched and what I was attracted to. And
I know you knew you were, but did you ever run into that?
Well, I mean,
around you?
You'll have light skin jokes. Some ignorant people would call you white boy or whatever, and sometimes like you feel like you had to prove yourself sometimes, but you get over that the older you get and the more entrenched in yourself that you are. But that was like, I'm talking about single digits, like past 10, 11, 12. I wasn't worried about none of that. It was around like, I wasn't around white spaces a whole lot at all. I didn't begin to be around a lot of white people until I went to college. As odd as that may sound coming from me or looking at me or whatever, but that's just the reality of it. Going to Black churches and Black schools and being raised in the inner city of Kansas City. I wasn't raised in Lee Summit. I wasn't raised in Grandview. I wasn't raised in Overland Park. I was raised in Kansas City. Okay, my zip code was always 641 something. So having that experience, you did have some people that were on that, but when I got to middle school is when I had a lot of fights because they thought I was soft because I was fat and chubby, light skinned, baby face for the most part. I had a lot of fights, bro, because I felt like they was trying to test me. It was like they would just outright disrespect you for no reason. I'm like, I'm not finna take that, bruh. Like, I don't know who y'all think y'all dealing with right now. And I'm not Mr. Tough Guy. I'm not a street dude at all. But I am from the streets. I'm not a street at all. I'm the furthest from it. But I am from that community, and my second nature will kick in. You know what I'm saying? But when I got to high school, none of that was an issue at all.
it's crazy, and we will get to this movie review because I can't wait to. I just in my mind to know Steve has had to sit through.
I hope he smoked weed when he watched Belly too.
DMX and sit through
through
Nas.
Damn,
you should have. Yeah, you should have.
I didn't have time to be high. It was only 90 minutes.
Like, oh, okay.
I mean, like I had to squeeze it in between like other obligations. Like it was 90 minutes. I was like, okay, perfect.
It
I had to bang it out and then go do something else.
Yeah, and it's so crazy. Obviously, Serda's not black, so you don't have this experience. But you had to lean into the white side of Brian's experience.
It's true.
But it's crazy
for the audio audience. It is true.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy the experience of. See, I had that experience. I had the experience of not being black enough for certain segment of black folks, and then being, obviously I'm black with certain white folks. And I started in the city. I lived off Cleveland, started in the city. I went to JC Chick, like down the street from JC Chick. I went to Sweeney Elementary, started in the city, then kind of moved to areas you're talking Raytown, and then to Blue Springs, where I counted in the yearbook, it was 2,000 students, and it was 57 of us. And
I don't know how you went to Blue Springs, bro.
And this is Blue Springs before it got touched. And I'm telling you,
done it.
And listen, and 30 of us was on the football team. But even with that, I think it's crazy as somebody who is actually one side of your family is white, but I think probably your sound and the way you talk compared to my sound and the way I talk and everything. I grew up in black churches. My grandpa was the pastor of Zion Grove, one of the most known ministers in the Kansas City area. But I mean, I just like, hey, at this point, black folks all supposed to sound a certain way, and if you don't, you're this. It's just crazy the difference in how experiences people have. That I feel like I dealt with that more than you did, and you actually half of inside of you is coming from a white family, which is
I mean,
yeah.
I feel like that sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I feel like that does happen a lot to people. I mean, it happened to me for sure, but I mean, I always assumed it was because I'm Nigerian. So like being Nigerian in the black community and stuff like that, although there really isn't like a disconnect, there is also like a disconnect between being black American and being African, as far as like how. So like when you're outside of the house, you get treated a certain way. When you're inside the house, you get treated a certain way. You know what I mean? And so my parents wanted to raise me like, hey, we want you to talk proper. We want you to be able to get a good job. We want you to be able to do this, do that, and the third. But then when I went outside of the house, the rest of the world treats you a certain way. They just treat you like you're like it's all homogenized. You know what I mean? And I always did get that feeling like when I was hanging around, a lot of black people, I'm like, damn, I don't feel like I'm black enough for that. But I always thought it's because I was Nigerian. And then I'd be hanging out with white people. It's like, man, I don't feel like I'm, with them. It's because I'm black. And it's crazy that, Ron said that he felt the same way, although he lived in a completely different city, lived a completely different life. It's just wild to me.
Yeah, but I don't want to say that I like totally was absent from white culture, because I wasn't. My mother is the #1 Paul McCartney / Beatles fan you will ever find. Okay, she always calls on my damn stepfather, and like it pisses me off. But
that's interesting.
Yeah, my mother, man, my mother and my mom is not one of these faking the funk, Karens who is they got that certain haircut where they got mixed babies. Like my mother is just plain white.
Hold on.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I'm talking about? The little bob, the Karen bob. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Serda, can you find me? No, just flashing. The photos of of women.
Just search like Terry Crews' wife or
That
Vicky Guerrero or
that you look and say, yep, she
she
done
got mixed
found her.
kids.
She had a Negro.
Yeah,
She got,
yeah, yeah. We know. Yeah,
he
but
said that.
the Bob, you know what I'm talking about? It come right to the ears.
Hey, Osita just learned that's not what Patrick Mahomes, his mama had. She just ran up on that grade A black man. It just had to have it because he
straight
could throw
from Great
it
Clips, baby. Yeah. Nah, but like I wasn't totally shut out of white culture, dog. You know, so there like it's a lot of pop music that I really like new wave in the 80s. I really love that stuff. Like NSYNC, I like NSYNC a little bit too. I'm
That's
hip hop
aggressive.
and R&B to the core, but you know, again, I wasn't totally shut out of white. And there are like some white things, you know what I'm saying? Like I give it. There we go. One nine. I think yeah, and I think she might be biracial too. I think she might be biracial. But like, okay, for instance, like Arby's. My mother introduced me to Arby's, and I love Arby's. I think Arby's is great. Arby's is good. People are
Hell
sleeping
yeah.
on Arby's.
That honey mustard that they got to go with the curly fries. Yeah.
Oh, it's yes. I love Arby's.
Serda, you can jump in this.
I love a beef and cheddar.
Hey, but black people do not know how Arby's is staying afloat. They have no clue, none, because I have never seen anybody black eat at Arby's at all.
I've seen a lot of black people eat at Arby's.
I haven't.
Yeah. I need to get off Arby's because I think I need them to make a decision. They just got too much shit on their menu. They have to be wasting. They got to be wasting money, man. They have beef and cheddars, like Serda said. They got chicken sandwiches. They got gyros. They got
everything.
They got chicken. Yeah, they got too much.
They got the meats. Pause.
Yeah, they got all of them. All right, let's get to it, man. We doing this every single Wednesday. And by the way, be thinking, Osita, Brian, myself, we got to come up with his movie that he has to watch next week. All right,
I got plenty.
Now, Brian, he may surprise you. Now he has seen quite a few. All right, okay. he has seen quite a few. The way this started was I was on my normal show. And I brought up a reference to Baby Boy, and nobody had ever heard of.
Oh no! The million-time BET premiere, Baby Boy. Yeah. Nobody could get the reference.
And Serda said, "Hell yeah, I've seen that a bunch of times. I done seen that a bunch." And he started naming all the actors in it, so I was proud. I said, "Let's see how many we can catch him with. Try to get him with Juice." No, I seen Juice. You know, I know who Bishop is. So you got to dig a little bit. All right, so let's get it. This is
I've seen a lot. I've seen more movies than anyone you've ever met.
Sir, I'm gonna catch you with a couple. I guarantee you ain't seen the ones I'm gonna tell you to see tonight. Okay. I guarantee you.
All right, calm down, Brian.
Okay.
Brian coming out the screen. He is ready to go. All right, let's hear your movie review of Belly.
I would give Belly a 5.7 out of 10 on
That's
IMDb.
fair. That's a
I
decent
would give
rating.
Belly on Rotten Tomatoes like 48%.
A 48%.
Like it is. There's some good things in it. There's some enjoyable things in it, even.
All right. So what did you like? What was it about it that you were?
I actually think DMX is awesome in it. I love the ending monologue with the minister. Exceptional. I thought it was great. I thought it was the best part of the movie, easily. Okay. Which you can fumble the ending of a movie in a million different ways, and it made me feel better about the entirety of the movie because the ending, because I nailed the ending in such a way. So there's good things within the film itself, but the story is all over the fucking place. It's virtually impossible to follow and just takes these massive jumps where you're just like, wait, hang on. So wait. So, okay, now we're in Nebraska? Why the fuck are we in Nebraska?
I don't like that shit. Serda said, I don't like that shit.
Hang on, I thought we were in New York. Why did we go from New York to Nebraska?
Hey, for no reason. We just said it.
Yeah. And like, it was just, there was like, and so there's also I call it the Tony Scott effect. So the the slow-mo, like use color to make the pictures like disproportionate and like faded and kind of like grainy and stuff like that. Not a terrible effect. I think Tony Scott's the person that jumps to mind when I think of that, because I think he was the one that like did it the most. Like Man on Fire, like does it the entire fucking movie, but like does it really well. I don't think that they did it super well. And I'm the type of person that when I watch something that I really don't know, I look into it and I read a lot about it. So I looked into Hype Williams and, kind of figured that out. So Hype Williams is definitely borrowing from a lot of people around that time. He's predominantly a music director and a music video producer.
Watch the Hate Me Now video.
Real quick. This is amazing. This is going even better than I did. This makes sense. I don't know that I've ever heard Hype Williams introduced like that before.
Right.
Like somebody's never heard of Hype Williams.
I'm not familiar with him.
I know. I'm just saying. I've never heard of. I looked into it and it was a Hype Williams.
Serda, have you seen Nas and Puffy Hate Me Now? Have you seen that video where Puffy is acting like Jesus on the cross?
I think so.
That's a Hype Williams.
Me now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a Hype Williams video.
So can I say this about Nas? Thought he was terrible in the movie. I did not like him. I didn't. So for one, I don't like when you switch back and forth between narrators. It doesn't make sense. Like if you're going to have somebody narrate the story, have one person narrate the story. So I think it would have been a better movie if Nas would have just been narrating it the entire time, but they kept flipping back and forth for whatever reason, which again goes back to the story being very like convoluted and just jumping around all over the place and leaving like you to try to fill in the blanks. But then there's also just like totally like illogical things that they do. Like when DMX's girlfriend first gets popped and he pulls up and like sees the feds at his house, he goes to Nas's house and he's just like, they got my girl, like, and he's just like in his driveway, and then nobody ever connects Nas to anything. Like he's just hanging out, he's just chilling, like the entire time. And he's like, you gotta get on the run too, dude. Like you gotta
go.
Like, and then he just gives him his Benz, and then he's just driving it the rest of the movie. Like, there was just a bunch of things that made absolutely no sense, but also $3 million budget, $10 million movie. Like they made some money off of it. $3 million is an indie movie. Like that is a very low budget film. So I think they had to cut some corners, obviously, but also, I forget his name, the Jamaican, the assassination attempt on him was one of the most absurd things I've ever seen. He's all shit-faced. Okay. Like he's shit-faced, falling asleep on the couch, like can barely stand up, watching soccer, which is his thing. And then all of a sudden he sees he's got like 20 Jamaicans coming up on his house. And so he just pulls out an AK, and then all of a sudden he's like good to go, like, and just kills everyone. Yes. Except for the one person in a mask who slowly jumps off of the railing above him and then just cuts his throat. Like the action could have used some work. Like they could have used some choreography and some thought. Like there wasn't a lot to it.
So clearly the worst character and performance in this for you is Nas. Sincere,
and not
you just
T-Boss.
See, no. And I like Sincere, like when he first introduced himself, like I'm sincere. Like I was like, okay, I'm about it. Like I'm in on this. And then he just like didn't do anything for me. Like I just felt like he was kind of on the outskirts of this thing, but it was like, wait, he was heavily involved in all of this. Why is he just being excluded from the entire narrative?
He's like, he should be implicated in the entire thing.
Hey man, this was the Wire before, baby.
So I did not. Okay. So that the dude that shoots Nas in the leg when he like comes up on him. So I didn't know. I had seen that image of him like online before, like sitting on the couch with the 40, and I never knew what that was from. And so I connected the dot to that right away when I saw it.
Oh, it's always a good feeling when you can connect the meme, baby. Always. It's very refreshing. Serda, though, I gotta ask you this. A lot of people's favorite scene from Belly, hands down, is the iconic intro when they're walking into, and I think you alluded to it earlier. Like, did that stick out to you? Was that memorable?
I had seen that before, or at least seen like images of that, and so it's like, okay, I actually recognize this. That was cool. Could have been better, like because when they walk up the stairs, they shoot the guy, throw him over the rail, but then it's like that's what I'm saying, with like a little bit of choreography and a little bit of like planning, because then they walk into the office. And all these people just stand up, and they're just. And if you watch DMX, like if you go back and watch it, he's just like fucking waving his gun all over the fucking room. And then it's like, oh, he just killed everybody. Like he was shooting at the ceiling. Like he walks in and he's just like,
he just killed everybody.
I love this, Ron. This is a great idea, bro.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So who's your MVP? If Nas is the worst, who's the MVP? Is it DMX?
DMX.
Is he the?
I think it's DMX because he did the most heavy lifting. Which, by the way, what's up with like the white Fed that like tries to get him to assassinate the minister at the end? Like I don't even know what the hell that was. I don't even know. Like he was some like Italian guy. Was he working for the mafia or was he working for the CIA? I don't know who the fuck that person was.
You gotta. Do you have a underrated player in this?
The Jamaican.
He's you can't understand what he's saying for a majority of the movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mark. Yeah.
How about Method Man? Huh?
Method Man was.
He was good. Because I actually think Method Man like has done some like really good acting. Like he was good, but again, his character, he got shot with the shotgun and then just hopped in a car and they got away.
It's tough, man.
He was tough, man. And he was in Nebraska.
It'd be a bird shot.
He got back to where he was from.
Yeah, it was tough. He was tough. All right. So you said a 5, little over 5. 5 what?
5'7".
I would say like a 5.7 on IMDb. And then like a 47% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Honestly, that's a fair grade for Belly. That's kind of what I would give it to.
See, is that fair?
Enjoyable things and like hints of like they were on to something with a little bit better direction here.
I will agree because everybody knows the story about the end of Belly, how they like ran out of money and stuff like that, so they weren't able to film exactly what they wanted to film. So they were just like, let's take them to Africa. Like let's just go to Africa. It'll be all right. So I think that's a fair assessment for Belly. But I'm thinking the next movie, and I don't know if anybody else has a movie like already pre-planned that they want you to watch, but I really want you to watch Paid in Full if you've never watched it.
Oh yeah, love that. Have you seen that Serda Paid in Full?
No, we addressed that last week. He ain't seen Paid in Full.
Oh, I love that movie. Serda, you should watch.
I think Paid in Full will be a better gangster flick for sure.
We got time.
I've definitely seen it like scrolling places. Like I've seen like the image of the movie, but I've certainly never watched it.
Have you seen Strictly Business, sir?
Oh God.
That's my movie. Have you seen that? Tommy Davidson, Halle Berry.
It's Strictly Business.
Yes.
It wasn't the dude from the Cosby.
Rockwell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Serda, it is a look. In the Brooks household.
My brother.
It is a classic. Like it is a top 8 movie for me. Strictly
That's not
Business.
bad. I'm saving Crooklyn. So you going? So is that your pick? Is that your pick?
Yes,
that's
Strictly
yours.
Business.
Strictly Business. You got one, Osita?
I say Paid in Full.
You got Paid in Full. Have you? I just throwing this. Have you seen Above the Rim?
Oh
yes, I have seen Above the Rim.
Okay, all right.
Love that movie.
I'll just slide. I just want to make.
Serda, you get points for this. Have you heard the soundtrack?
My childhood.
Have you heard the soundtrack to Above the Rim?
Not other than just watching.
Oh, you got to go get that. Tupac Kane, baby.
Have you seen Set It Off?
Ooh,
I have seen Set It Off. We talked about that.
Okay.
Let's make sure.
Okay. Have you seen Living Large? It's about a black man who gets a job in Atlanta on that TV station and he turns white. Living Large, starring my man off of Living Single.
Which
Kyle?
Kyle?
Yes.
So
You gotta watch that. Living
So-
Large.
the 1991 movie.
So
Yes.
yours is Paid in Full. Brian, you're
Strictly Business.
Strictly Business. And have you seen? You ain't seen Love Jones, have you?
No.
Oh, I ain't seen that. I ain't interested in Love Jones.
The fuck?
I've seen clips of Love Jones, but I ain't interested in that.
Hold on, real quick. It is my. Why are you not interested in Love Jones? How could you?
It don't look good. It looks very sentimental and emotional. It looks like a chick flick. I'll watch it with my wife if she wants to watch it, but I'd rather watch Waiting to Exhale than Love Jones all day, every day.
You don't even know what Love Jones is.
Yes, I do.
Love? No, you don't. You ain't never seen it. You
It's about poetry. They reading poetry, and that was when black people was trying to get sophisticated and mature in the mid-90s because they knew we was a little immature in the early 90s.
Brian, you have taken a portion of the movie and made that what the movie is about. This is a young Terrence Howard, baby. This is Lorenz Tate.
Terrence Howard's in that? I didn't know that.
Oh, he's as nuts as ever in that bad boy. My man Isaiah Washington. Oh, this is.
I love Isaiah Washington. He's intense.
Yeah, it's like a black. Man, no, it's cold blooded. I'm gonna throw out Love Jones. So we got Love Jones, Strictly Business, Paid in Full.
Don't throw Dolomite in there. Serda, you seen Dolomite?
Oh, Dolomite.
I bet Serda's seen that. Yeah, I was gonna say, I bet he's seen that. All right. Paid in Full is very similar to Belly. I don't know if you want to hit that,
but way better.
I mean,
I don't want to
way better.
So
I'm not saying it's like it. I'm just saying it's in the same framework. It's in the same ballpark. I feel like
if we giving ratings, Paid in Full is like a 9.5 for me.
And I love Wood Harris too. I love a good crime movie. So
yeah, I think he's gonna disappoint you. What's it? I just tell.
No, he ain't, Serda. No, he's not.
No, I'm telling you, I think Serda's gonna disappoint you. I don't think Serda's gonna view it in the nines. Is what I'm telling you. So I do. I think we've got to go Strictly Business, or we got to go Love Jones. I think we go in a different direction and roll it that way. You pick, Steve. Love Jones, Strictly Business.
I'm deciding.
I clearly we see you're just like clearly you didn't freeze. Oh, here.
I'll go Love Jones. Why not?
Smart.
Okay.
Yeah,
I feel like it's kind of like one of those iconic movies that I probably should have watched, but
not
necessarily my style, not something that I typically gravitate towards. So.
I will just say this, and I'm really intrigued. I think the acting, I think it was a classic case of a movie that was too black to be nominated for awards that the work of it should have been. I think the acting and the story and how it's shot and everything, I think it should have been up for awards. If that were a white cast, that would have been up for awards. I think Love Jones is very well done. Now I'm certain Serda will go ahead and shoot me down and come out with like a 4. But I look at it and I thought, man, they did their thing in that piece.
What would a white Love Jones be called?
The Kids Are All Right.
What?
It was a great movie. It was like the best or the movie that won for Best Picture is A Love Story. This year, the movie that won the Oscar for Best Picture is A Love Story. So it's what are you talking about, Anora? Yes. That's not really a love story, dog. I mean, Steven, you saw Anora, right? It's a would you call that a love story? It's a romance. It's a romance. It was not romantic, bro.
No.
She was a stripper turning out a trick, bro. Like that's all. That
Yeah,
was.
and then there was love there. Yes,
Sound like the movie
She-
American
she-
Pimp to
I
me.
think
She
it was
wanted love, but there was no love there, dog.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm saying.
and it
There
was
no love
more
in that
about
shit.
like learning hard life lessons than falling in love. I think.
Yeah.
and their relationship, correct?
Yeah, their relationship that meant nothing to them to the dude.
And then honestly, it meant nothing to her either because she was just looking for a payday. She was like, man, this nigga, he's rich. This motherfucker rich. He got money, so I might as well.
Slipped it up, didn't you?
Hey, I had to catch myself real quick.
I heard that too. Yeah. You sound like Dub C. Dub C would do the yeah. Yeah, he'll do that too.
All right, take us home.
Ron said no rules, man. No rules.
I just said coach it.
Well, speaking of Love Jones, when I was in high school, I was in love with a redheaded French girl.